August 1930. The aftermath of the riots. When Pho Tok returned home, the air was thick with the scent of cigars and conspiracy. His lieutenant, Na Nyunt, delivered the grim news. "Sir, the city is a graveyard. The riots have spread to the suburbs." But Pho Tok was not on the streets. He was under the protection of Inspector U Hok Guan at the Western District Police Station. This was no accident. U Chan Tun, the strategist, had kept Pho Tok in the police station all day to provide a rock-solid alibi. Why? Because that afternoon, Narayanan Singh, the Indian strike leader, had been assassinated at Bota Town. The word on the street was that Pho Tok's men did it. With the police log proving his presence elsewhere, Pho Tok was untouchable. 2 months later, the dust settled. U Chan Tun summoned Pho Tok to U Wi Lartha's monastery. Pho Tok was bitter. "You used my men to break the strike, then fired them to please the Indians. You made my name mud on the streets," Pho Tok spat. U Chan Tun merely smiled. "Politics is a game of necessity, Pho Tok, but today I have a reward for your loyalty." He handed over a business card. It belonged to Mr. Tyke Cooper, the newly appointed Home Secretary. "In British Burma," U Chan Tun whispered, "only 5 people have the private number to reach the Home Secretary directly: the governor, the police commissioner, the intelligence chief, me, and now." By shaking U Chan Tun's hand, Pho Tok officially stepped out of the shadows of a common thug and into the inner circle of the colonial power structure. He was no longer just a king of the streets. He was a protected asset of the empire. The monastery grounds, a sudden tragedy. The celebration of Pho Tok's new status was cut short by a haunting cry. Ba Thin, trembling and drenched in tears, stumbled into the room. "Sir, U Pho Thin is dead!" The room went cold. U Pho Thin, the monk and Pho Tok's uncle, was the only man Pho Tok truly respected. He had been murdered while returning to the monastery after buying ginger ale for the high monk. A shadowy figure had followed him to the monastery gates and plunged a blade into his side. He died in a pool of blood on sacred ground. Pho Tok's grief turned instantly into a terrifying, quiet fury. "Kiao Tun, Tun Tin, find him. I want to know who killed a man of the robe." By dawn, the answer came through Gandama. The killer was Talayang Le Kiao Thin, a henchman of Ponar Ba Tun. It was a revenge killing, a life for a life, because Ba Tun believed Pho Tok had killed Narayanan Singh. "He couldn't get to us, sir," Gandama explained, "so he went for the easiest target. He went for the monk." Pho Tok didn't scream. He didn't break things. He simply looked at Gandama and said, "I want Talayang Le Kiao Thin alive. He is the key to everything." Gandama nodded, knowing this was no longer about territory or docks. This was about blood and the ultimate betrayal of the streets. The hunt for the monk killer began, leading Pho Tok's inner circle into a dark flat in the heart of the city, where the final reckoning would begin. A hideout in the city. The interrogation. The door burst open with the force of a hurricane. Gandama Thong Yi charged in, followed by San Ba and Nga Nyunt. Talayang Le Kiao Thin was not alone. He was guarded by Ponar Ba Tun's most feared enforcer, the giant known as Alawaka Sane. The room exploded into violence.
Gandama, with a heavy chain wrapped around his fist, rained blows upon Kyaw Thin's face, while San Ba and Ngan Yunt grappled with the massive Alawaka Sane. The struggle was desperate. San Ba was thrown across the room, bloodied and broken, as the giant fought with the strength of 10 men. But Gandama was relentless. He unwound the chain from his fist and looped it around the giant's throat.
With veins popping in his forehead and his own hands bleeding from the tension, Gandama pulled. He didn't let go, even as the giant's massive frame collapsed on top of him. Slowly, the struggling ceased. Alawaka Sane, the pillar of Ba Tun's power, lay dead. With the giant gone, they turned to the trembling Kyaw Thin. "Pick up the brave man who stabs old monks," Ngan Yunt mocked. They stuffed the bloody killer into a jute sack, dragging him like a piece of refuse to the car. As Gandama drove back to Lanmadao, Ngan Yunt lit a cigarette, his hands shaking slightly.
"We just killed Alawaka Sen, Ba Tun's adopted son. This isn't just a fight anymore, Gandama. This is the end of an era." Lanmadao streets, the final standoff. The next morning, Yangon held its breath. Ponar Ba Tun had gathered 100 men at Thingji. They carried the coffin of Alawaka Sen, intending to march into Pho Tok's territory for a final bloody revenge. But as they reached the head of Keeley Street, they hit a wall. 2 lorries blocked the road, packed with military police. Rifles were leveled at the mob. "Disperse now!" the officer shouted. "We have orders to shoot any rioters on sight." Ba Tun looked at the cold steel of the British rifles and realized the truth. Pho Tok had called in his new favors.
Ba Tun's mob crumbled. Only 20 men stayed. Later that day, Pho Tok stood alone in front of Ponar Ba Tun's house. He held a long Burmese sword, the blade gleaming in the sun. "Ponar Ba Tun," he roared. "Yesterday you wanted me dead. I'm here. Come down and face me like a man, one-on-one." Inside, Ba Tun watched through the slats of his window. The legendary gangster was broken. He had lost his son, his enforcers, and his political backing. He looked at his aged hands and realized his time had passed. He didn't go down. He turned away from the window and retreated into the shadows of his house. Pho Tok lowered his sword and laughed, a cold, victorious sound that echoed through Lanmadao. "From today, you are no longer a boss. You are just a beggar in my streets." Pho Tok turned his back on the house and walked away. The reign of Ponar Ba Tun was over. As the sun set over 1930s Yangon, the city had a new, undisputed king. Lanmadao belonged to Pho Tok, the man who had mastered both the blade